Welcome back to the Shy City Boys podcast. Along with me is Jack Thiel. I am Carl Liza. Jack, how you doing today?
Doing good. I'm glad to see the mic has made the return. Carl, you
It's
got
the
a
return of the mic.
Carl's got a new
Got a
camera.
got a new camera.
Carl is ready.
Investing into this podcast finally.
that's
Finally,
that's how you know it's a true podcast when you're putting your own
It's a true
money.
podcast now. The microphone and a camera.
You know you're doing a true podcast when you invest your own money into it.
Absolutely. The quality of the podcast is slowly going up. Next, we'll be on an actual computer, not a laptop.
Business is booming.
Business is booming.
To the moon. To the moon.
Hopefully these views go up too.
Yeah, to the moon.
But before we get started, just want everyone to know we did make a new TikTok. It's called Shy City Boy Bets, where we put the only thing we post on there are bets we believe in. We're not gonna give any tomfoolery bets, only bets we believe in. So that doesn't mean we're gonna have videos every day, maybe not even every week. But
this isn't gambling advice either.
It's not gambling advice.
No, it's not.
It's what we bet on.
What's your record, Carl? I know you started
on TikTok. On TikTok, I am 4-1.
Really? No way.
No. Okay, so the first video I was 2-0. First video I was 2-0 or 2-0.
Then you had the Bulls bets.
The second video made me I think I got
4-2 money line
4-1.
Okay.
Because I took the over on it and it didn't get the over.
No, and you had the Bulls money line too?
No, I had the over.
Oh, I had
the DeMar points. I had the Vooch rebounds, and I had the over on the
college football.
College football, I'm 2-1, but in total, I'm like 6-2. So
I'm 2-1 in total.
Yeah, well, you need to post more videos. We need a video with just you in it, not me.
Yesterday, there would have been a video, but my attention was more focused towards my fantasy matchup that I did win. So it was okay. So
Ramondre Stevenson did give you 23 points. So.
Ramondre's he's a dog, man. He's
you're back in the playoff hunt. And me, I'm a three game
I'm only a game behind you now. Your team's falling. My team's growing, man.
I need to do something.
That's
I'm probably going to talk to some people about it. I'm going to see what we can do. But
I made a trade for Deebo Samuel, 2-0 since that trade. So we're looking good.
Good for you. So since we're talking about fantasy football, let's go into the real football. With the Chicago Bears, they played Monday night yesterday, and I'd like to say they throttled New England. No one expected that. The line was -8.5. Just the Bears played to Justin Fields' strength for once. And guess what? We fucking won 33-14.
Yeah.
Can you believe it, Jack?
No, honestly, I thought the game was over when Zappy came in and then he had 2 straight touchdown drives. I really thought that was it, but I mean, you mentioned that they played to Justin Fields' strengths, and I think for the first time since the Bears won the division, they did something right. Like, you felt actually good. Like, no one thinks the Bears are world beaters. No one thinks the Bears are going to be a playoff team, but you just felt last night like for the first time in a while, it was a step forward. They did the things that we've been wanting to see them. They used Justin Fields to his strengths. The young guys on defense showed up. Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker both had themselves a really good game. Of course, Roquan Smith had himself a decent game as well. And the run game was very strong. I mean, not just Justin Fields, but Khalil Herbert and David Montgomery. What's a crazy stat is the Bears are number 1 in rushing, but also the only team with 3 runners that average more than 50 yards a game. Fields, Montgomery, and Herbert. So obviously the run game's working out. I know probably the Bears don't want Fields to run as much, but I mean, with the offensive line he has, he kind of has to because he's always, getting pressure, almost sacked. I mean, the Patriots, even though Fields had a great game with his legs, I mean, the Patriots still had 5 sacks. I mean, they made him a fumble a couple of times too, but overall, I think it was just a positive step forward. And you really, for the first time, I think Bears fans were like, all right, like this is good. Like the coaching's like, this is probably a good match. Like Getsy did a great job. Eberflus, another good job by him. I just was really impressed by this win. And I think what's interesting is the Bears have been in every game this year besides the Packers one. I mean, their last 3 losses were about single digits. So this is a team that's been in that positive step, but they've never gotten over the hump. And the hump is scoring. You know, they kept kicking field goals, and it almost seemed like that might have been the case yesterday, but they had good touchdowns. And that's what you want to see. And they got a big week coming up, but overall, you're really impressed with this performance. Bears are 3-4. I think you would honestly take that in 7 games of the season. You know, it's not bad at all. And I think for the first time, a lot of Bears fans have hope in Justin Fields, you know, a guy who doesn't have any weapons really, but still, the way he's able to run the ball, if he can have some playmakers on the receiving end, you're really seeing something special. But you know, not trying to think about 5 years in the future. Enjoy the win. Great team win. And I think that was one of my favorite Bears games, probably since that division winning season.
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about a couple things with the game. Lucas Patrick did go down in the game. That brought back in Sam Mustipher. So that had to do with the sacks. But still, we still need to get better at that offensive line. Let's talk about the scoring drives. They had 11 drives in total. 7 of them they scored on.
Yeah.
2 were punts and 1 was a turnover on downs in the last seconds of the game to show some sportsmanship. The other one Fields threw interception earlier in the game. But let's talk about the positives. Cairo Santos, 4 field goals, 4 makes.
He just doesn't miss.
He doesn't miss.
I don't get it.
We needed him forever.
It's so weird because the Bears don't have kicking problems right now. Like,
yeah, I know.
You feel pretty good about Cairo Santos out there. And, you know, he missed the game, I believe, 2 weeks ago against the Giants. And still, I mean, he's been doing this since he came to Chicago. He's really done a good job.
Yeah, he's only really missed
he missed that one in Pittsburgh. It was like 64 yards.
Yeah, he's only missed ones in 60s.
But it was accurate. It was only the distance that was off.
Yeah, it wasn't.
He's not a long kicker. He doesn't. He's not the guy that kicks to 60-yarders.
Yeah, we don't need him to do that though. So, but let's talk about more. Justin Fields ran in for the touchdown to make it a 10-0 game.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh, Mac Jones, your ankle still hurts, I guess. So let's put in Bailey Zappi." And guess what? The score turns 14-10 within 4 minutes. They scored 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes.
I thought it was over. I really thought that was over.
Yeah, I thought it was over until Justin Herbert throws a screen pass, gets it to Khalil Herbert, and runs it in from 25 yards.
That was
a passing touchdown, Jack. Passing touchdown.
That was probably one of the most impressive throws by Justin Fields in his career. The sidearm throw, pressure should have been roughing the passer, and really like they're using Khalil Herbert. I know it's hard because David Montgomery is still good, but Khalil Herbert's got a lot of juice.
Yeah. So they end the second quarter with another field goal. So that's 20 to 14, I think.
You don't have this box score up or anything?
I have I do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 20 to 14. And then in the third quarter, just 2 field goals for the Bears, making it 26 to 14. And then David Montgomery runs it in for another touchdown to make it 33-14. Bears score 23 straight. Doesn't let New England do anything on offense in the second half. Unbelievable defense. The Bears defense get 3 picks, 1 from Roquan, 1 from Jaquan Brisker, and 1 from Kyler Gordon.
I believe I read a stat. It's about how good the Bears defense has been in the second half this year. You know, I believe they've I think every opponent they've held single digits in the second half. I might be wrong, but I know they've done a good job.
But they're a second half team.
they're making adjustments at halftime, and they're keeping themselves in the game. I mean, you go back to that Minnesota game, it seemed like they're gonna killed, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden they have a chance to win the game. So
Yeah, I think not to cut you off, or sorry to cut you off, but I
really,
think the last
wow,
game against the Commanders, I think the last game against the Commanders was the first time they let up a touchdown in the second half.
probably. And I mean, it is what it is, but like
Yeah.
it's still good. It's just a young defense, a defense that has a lot of, I mean, in my opinion, there's a lot of holes in this defense still.
Oh,
And, you know, young guys are contributing. I think Jaquan Brisker, he has got a lot of attention this year. And I think last night was really the game that I would say has put him in that national spotlight. I think people
I
knew
hope
of
so.
him, like if reporters or broadcasters covering the Bears, like, they mention him. But I think for the first time since I was on prime time, people are like, shoot, this guy's good. Like he's going to be a problem for years. So glad to see that out of him. And overall, they fought. And I think that drive after they had those two straight touchdowns was pivotal. And they went right down the field and scored. And that's what you want to see. You want to see them not get their heads down and compete. And I think what's really important about this year's team is they all rally around each other. This is not a team where you've got like, I don't know, just a quarterback who's all about himself and he thinks he's the guy. No, I mean, Justin Fields has been a team player ever since he stepped in Chicago, and he's a dog. Like he will compete till the very end, and that's what you want in your quarterback. And now it just comes to getting the players to help him succeed. So the stats may
Absolutely.
not look pretty, but Justin Fields has shown a lot of improvement just this year. I believe after the Houston game was when a lot of people are starting to turn on him because of just how underperformed he did. But ever since that game, he's looked good, and he's throwing the ball more and he's running the ball more.
Yeah, so let's talk about those stats you were just talking about. Justin Fields went 13 for 21 for 179 passing yards. Just to let you guys know, the over under was 170. So if you took the over, it did hit. Uh, but he also had a touchdown, like I said, and an interception. You said he got sacked 5 times. He actually got sacked 4 times. It's okay. On to the rushing, Justin Fields led the team with 82 yards and a touchdown on 14 carries. David Montgomery wasn't slacking at all either. He went 15 times for 62 yards and a touchdown. Khalil Herbert even touched the ball multiple times with 12 carries with 62 yards. Dante Pettis had an end around, counting for one-time rusher for 29 yards. And in that last drive, they were trying to get Ebner to get into a touchdown, but he couldn't get in there. But he
Close.
three attempts for 8 yards, not terrible. He's still a rookie. He's got time. Plus, he's the third string running back, so he has time. On to the receiving part. Darnell Mooney started the game off hot with 3 receptions for 53 yards. Not bad. Our boy Ammonius St. Brown. I think
I said our boy.
I like him. I like him. He's our boy.
I just never thought he was our boy.
He's our boy. He caught 4 passes for 48 yards. Cole Kmet got some catches, 2 for 32.
That's
Khalil Herbert. No, that's your Notre Dame guy. Khalil Herbert caught 1 pass for 25 yards and that touchdown. First game back, N'Keal Harry caught 1 pass for 14 yards.
Got
Ryan
some
Griffin.
bruise.
He got against his former team. Ryan Griffin and Dante Pettis both had a catch. Griffin went for 5 yards and Pettis went for 2 yards. Now, let's talk about something not pretty. Fumbles. Jack, do you want to guess how many fumbles Justin Fields had that game?
Probably 3.
Bump that up 1 to 4.
Really?
4 of them. But he didn't lose any, so that's good. Do you want to guess how many fumbles Dante Pettis had?
Did he fumble?
He fumbled once, but he didn't lose it.
I wonder. Wait, was it? When was that?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
Interesting.
And yeah, they were all recovered. We didn't lose a down, or we didn't lose it.
I believe the turnover battle was 4-1.
3-2.
Was
No,
it No, it should
Four.
only be one for us.
No, two because of the turnover on downs.
Okay, I'm not counting that.
You gotta count it.
No,
But
I'm not counting that.
why not? If it's
Because
on the stats, it's on the stats, my
if
boy.
it was a tie game, we would have scored.
Okay, whatever.
Sportsmanship.
Okay. So let's talk about the defense. Oh, Roquan Smith wanted that money. He had 12 tackles.
Leads the league in tackles.
1 sack, 1 turn, or 1 sack, 1 QB hit, 1 interception. Jaquan Brisker, he had 7 tackles for an interception. And all our friends have been shitting on him, but Kyler Gordon had a pick too. I'm happy to see that guy finally do something. And then Eddie Jackson had 4 tackles. Nick Moreau had 6. And then Robert Quinn didn't do nothing. That sucks.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
Would you pay Roquan over 100 mil each still?
For how many years? 5 for 100?
Would he wants that? Would you give him the bag, even though he's playing really well this year?
That's a tough question.
I'm still 50-50 on it too.
How much cap do we have? 103 or 123?
Yeah.
If we have 123, give him the money.
See, I don't see that like that.
If it's 103, no. But if it's 123, yeah.
I think that maybe God,
because what are we talked about this already. No big wide receivers in free agency. The only thing we really need to improve on are the offensive and defensive lines. Maybe if we don't sign Roquan, we need more linebackers. But we can find the offensive linemen and the wide receivers in the draft, hopefully. And then we should really only be paying free agency money to defensive linemen. And then maybe a third corner. But our safeties are good. Eddie Jackson has 2 more years after this one. Jaquan Brisker is here for the next 10.
Next 10?
Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon are going to be our 1-2 punch at the corners for the next 7 years.
You know who we need to sign?
If Johnson stays healthy.
You know who we need to
Better
sign?
not fucking say Odell.
Paul Crew.
Adam Sandler's like 62 at this point. No.
You're gonna sign Paul
Crew. If it was like 2003 or 2004.
Paul Crew. I can't move my finger. Wait. Michael Irvin.
Shut your mouth. Michael Irvin's 62 also.
Not Terrell Owens.
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews is old as fuck too.
Hey, he's hosting America's Got Talent. Leave him alone.
No, he's great. He's great still, but he's old.
That's rude of you to say.
Settle down.
It's rude.
Yeah, you have any more comments on The Longest Yard before we move on?
It's a great movie.
But anyways, let's also talk about how the Bears only punted twice this game. Pretty impressive. We scored 7 times.
Yeah.
And we didn't punt until the second half. That's pretty cool. You know, having a sustainable offense for a whole game. So most teams love that, or most teams are used to that. We love it because we don't see it all the time.
But it will be interesting to see if it can stay in the matchup this Sunday.
Oh, when the Bears travel to Arlington to take on the 5-2 Dallas Cowboys.
This is going to be a.
What do you think's going to happen?
I think Micah Parsons is going to have the game of his life. I believe he's going to blitz almost every play because of how bad our offensive line is. Mm-hmm. I believe he'll have 2.5 sacks, a forced fumble, maybe even a pick at this point. Like, I just think Micah Parsons is going to have the game of his life. I will say this. I would feel better about the Bears if this was Dak's first game back. But now that he's kind of got that game under his belt, that I think he's going to go off, in my opinion. So I'm not saying the Bears are going to get killed. It's just this is tough for them. I mean, Dak is back, and the Cowboys have a really fast defense. And for our offensive line, That's terrible. It's really a bad matchup.
Yeah. Do you want to guess the ESPN matchup predictor? What percentage the Bears are given?
15.
Ding, ding, ding.
Really?
On the fucking money, Jack.
Really?
15.3%
Oh,
chance.
I'll take it.
That was awesome.
Quick math.
I didn't expect that.
2 + 2 is 4.
But again, it is in Dallas. Let me go over to DraftKings.
I think the Bears spread is interesting. 9
Yeah,
and a half.
Is it 9.5? That's what I was gonna go look at.
And it just seems like teams that are getting all these points, they don't just cover, they win.
They
I
win.
mean, look
Just
at the
like
Bears.
the Panthers. The Panthers beat Tampa Bay 21-3.
Go to last week. The Steelers beat the Buccaneers. You can even go to the Bears were about 8.5.
So the Bears line is +9, and the over under is 42.
I'm
Right?
probably taking the under on that.
Yeah, I'd probably take the under, and then I would take the Bears +8. And then I would go for Zeke not doing much.
Okay.
Probably take. They don't have the rushing stuff up there yet, but I'd probably take Zeke under probably 75 yards.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard over 25, I'd guess. I'd probably take David Montgomery's over.
Interesting. I'll take Herbert's over.
It'll probably be 65, if I'm guessing. And then Justin Fields, I'd probably do, depending on the line, I'd probably do over 155 passing yards.
Yeah, it seems like he's got to throw the ball.
Yeah, anything over like 165, I'd probably take the under.
Yeah.
That's just me. I might take over 0.5 passing touchdowns for Fields also. I think he'll throw a passing touchdown. And then I would take the Bears defense +1 turnover.
Okay.
Or like I can see Dak throwing a pick.
Yeah.
Or him not in groove with Zeke yet and like fumble a pass to him, like a handoff.
Yeah.
You like that? Like that?
Not bad.
Juices flowing.
Not bad.
Yeah, but again, we'll talk about this game more in the aftermath in the next podcast. Jack, anything else to say about this before we move on?
No, let's go to our final subject.
Let's talk about the Chicago Bulls, where they had an interesting week.
Yeah, they went 2-2, and Levine missed the first 2 games, but their first 2 wins are against the Heat and the Celtics. I mean,
who were 1-2 last year.
That's a good start. That's a good start for the Bulls. I think that you would have liked even without Levine, they should have beat Washington. And what's funny is that the officials came out and said DeRozan got fouled on his 3-point attempt to win the game. He should have been rewarded with 3 free throws. So
absolutely
take what you want with that. They kind of got demolished by the Cavs, but the Cavs are a good team. But they responded well. I mean, they were down 19 in the first quarter against the Celtics, and they stayed. They were resilient. They came back and won. This team is interesting because, I don't think they're contenders for the championship, but they've got the team to make a run. I mean, Ayo Dosunmu has looked really good out of the gate. I really like what we've seen from him. I think Goran Dragic and DeAndre Drummond, they've looked good as well. Levine has looked, just like an average Zach Levine. I'll say this. Vukovic seems more fierce. He had over 20 rebounds yesterday. I think that he took a lot of heat last year, and he's coming back with some vengeance, but
he wants that bag.
For the first 4 games, I don't think this is bad for the Bulls. I mean, this was a team that got made fun of because they can never beat the top teams in the East, and here they are with 2 wins already against the top team in the
Yeah.
East.
Gave
Without
Boston.
one was out with one was without Levine.
Yeah, that was a season opener.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the stats from the Celtics game. So let's start with the leading scorer in DeMar DeRozan. He had 25.
Yeah.
With 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Ayo Dosunmu came in second with 22 points.
He just is confident out there, and he's really taking advantage of this Lonzo Ball injury, which is unfortunate because we love Lonzo, but like for Ayo, it's next man up.
Exactly. And if he keeps doing this, might want to start Lonzo coming off the bench.
They might have to. It's hard.
Yeah, and then let's go to the third leading scorer in Zach LaVine. His second game back, scored 19, 2 and 2 in 32 minutes. Doesn't seem like a minute restriction right now, which is good to see.
No, I think he's just getting gelled in back into the system, I believe, you know. Just trying to get the feels.
You're talking about Vucevic earlier. He went 18 and 23, also with 5 assists. That's nice to see. I really like Joe numbers there.
I just think this is going to be a breakout year for him. I just think he had a good year last year, but no one thinks that. So I think that he's coming in this year, and he's got some Andre Drummond's a decent backup. So it's not like, it's just Vucevic's position. I mean, Andre Drummond's right there, and you have Marco Samofic, whatever his name is, waiting in, the helms. I mean, they've got guys to replace Vucevic, and I think Vucevic is realizing I need to light a fire at my ass or I'm screwed.
Yeah, so and then let's talk about the other starter who's been I know it's only 4 games into the season, but very disappointing in Patrick Williams. He only played 15 minutes and he had 4 points and 3 rebounds.
Just
not looking good.
Doesn't look confident out there. When this guy plays without like DeRozan and Levine, he wants to shoot the ball every time. But when he's out there with those other guys, he doesn't want anything to do with the basketball. It's really frustrating because we already know this guy is one of the most athletic players already. He's a really good defensive player. It's just the offense is really lacking. And you really consider this year that make or break year because obviously last year he was out with the injury and then he came back, looked all right in a couple of games, but you really need something more, and this could be really a situation where he could get traded at the deadline. The Bulls might be like, hey, I mean, we need right now a starting power forward or small forward, whatever, to contribute to this team. We can't be like, yeah, he's young and he's a project. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a project and that takes time. But for the Bulls, when they're in win now, you don't have time for projects. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him get moved. The Bulls do have some picks. Obviously, Kobe White's garnered interest from other NBA teams. So maybe Dalen Terry could be moved as well. I mean, I really truly believe the Bulls are going to go in that win now mode where they make another trade for a guy who can really contribute. I think that without Lonzo, there's a big void. Lonzo is a huge player for this team, but if they want to compete, and I mean, they've shown that they can compete, and if they want to get over that hump, they're going to have to get that power forward to contribute. And for P-Will, I think P-Will could do it, but he just hasn't shown it, and he needs to soon before it's too late.
Yeah. So I personally think he's going to get traded by the deadline.
Yeah.
I'd like to see us get, I don't even know who we could get for him right now.
Yeah, there's not really much. I don't know what the market is.
And I don't even know. Do we want like another like a scoring power forward, or do we want more of a defense?
I think we need defense. I don't think. I mean, no, it's just hard. We need shooters. We need shooters. It's really tough. I think for at the power forward position. There's just so many guys. There's not that many guys, I should say, actually. And the guys that you would want are on teams that are trying to win right now. So it's like, where do you go with this? I mean, Pistons, they don't really have anyone. They're kind of rebuilding. I mean, the Kings are rebuilding.
Pistons might make the play-in.
They're a decent team. They're a decent squad this year. So I think for the
And I
Bulls,
know we were talking off camera a couple days ago about possibly Sabonis from the Kings.
that could, I mean,
Like,
maybe.
I I I don't see the Kings moving on from him yet. He hasn't even been on the team for a year.
It's tough. I mean, maybe I can't believe I'm going to say this. Does
Oh no.
Draymond Green get moved?
Oh yeah, because he basically said he's out of there since everyone else got a contract and he didn't.
Is he out of there? So
Is this his final year on contract?
something that's close. I know that.
I
And
think
they've,
it's either this year or
I mean, they've
next.
given everyone extensions besides him. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean, it's really interesting what's going to happen because we know the Bulls can be aggressive at the trade deadline. Like they get guys they need to get the win. And I mean, if P Will's not playing that well, you got to trade him. I'm sorry. Like we had this
Yeah.
conversation. We had the same conversation last year because
Mhm.
well, he was hurt. Bulls needed someone that to fill the void.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of to the point where like he's playing terrible, and we
Yeah.
need to get rid of him before that value is gone.
Absolutely. And if he doesn't start showing something, I might want Javante Green back in the starting lineup like he was last.
They love him in that.
Javante Green is a spark plug for us. But let's also not forget about Andre Drummond, Goran Dragic, Alex Caruso. They have been spark plugs for us also. I'm surprised to see what Dragic has been giving us since he really didn't do anything on Brooklyn last year.
I mean, he was also hurt for a while, but I think he's a good stable piece in that rotation, you know. And for the Bulls,
And also, sorry,
no, keep going. What do you gotta say?
and also Andre Drummond was showing off his Detroit Piston days, going for 12 rebounds in 15 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't need him to score.
For the Bulls,
we need him for defense.
Tristan Thompson was an okay backup. Timmy Bradley or whatever, that guy is the worst basketball player ever.
Come on. He played 2 minutes
You like to see Drummond in there. I like Goran. I think he's a stable piece, but you know, you would love I think what the problem with Javante is he's not that tall. And
yeah.
I know he makes it up with his athletic ability and his vertical, but he's not that big either. And that creates mismatches down low. So I would really like the Bulls to find a power forward that can maybe shoot the mid range pretty well around that 6'8" area, 6'9", you know, and that's perfect. I think that would be perfect. And the Bulls need size. You know, they were, I believe, weren't they like one of the smallest teams last year, something like that? So
yeah, besides Vucevic, yeah.
I think Derek Jones is another guy who could get a lot more minutes with P. Will's underperforming.
He scored 10 points in this game.
That's what I was saying. I mean, he's a high flyer. I mean, what we see is the Bulls they like Javante Green and Derek Jones Jr. together. Those guys are high flyers. I think they also like Caruso in that lineup because of his defense and his ball skills. And you like to have a guy like Zach LaVine who can stretch out the floor. So I think the Bulls have been able to use multiple lineups to where they come back and win, and you know, they play good basketball. You know, they give teams multiple looks. You know, it's not like here's our starting five. That's it. Like, no, they have 3, 4 guys off the bench that can contribute in big ways.
Billy Donovan knows what he's doing.
He does. And I just think the biggest problem going into the Billy Donovan season is, do the blowouts continue?
Yeah.
I mean, so far, only one. I mean, we've played probably 3 of the top 5 teams in the East by the time we get to the end of the season. We beat 2 of them. So I think it's just being physical, you know, getting ready. I think that's just the biggest thing. And I think for Zach LaVine, he's a guy who needs a lot to improve. You know, he just got that deal. DeMar, we don't know what's going on with him, obviously, because he's not going to be able to do what he did last year. But he has shown that he can still be that effective scorer that can put up a lot of points when needed. So this is a team.
Yeah, he was All NBA second team last year, right?
Yeah, which was terrible.
If he can be the third team, that'd be great.
I just think for the Bulls, it's just and it's the beginning of the year. There's so much stuff that can happen, but
yeah, we're 4 games in.
This is a team with a lot of potential, a team that they're one of those middle round teams that could make a run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they've got
like
the guys.
6, 7, 8 seed.
Like the Hawks that one year.
When they went to the conference championship.
I think they can be one of those teams. They've got the guys to play. I mean, they've got 3 all-stars on the starting lineup. So
yeah.
Like we said, it's a lot to digest, a lot of season left. I mean, 4 games and only so I just think I think if you're gonna say what do you want to see is improvement from P. Will. And I would also say I'd like to see just a little bit more. I mean, it's kind of a lot to ask, but a little more physicality from Levine. I know he's coming off the surgery, but we gave him this money because we were told when he does this surgery, he has no limits.
Give him some time. He's still trying to get acclimated. So
time's over.
Okay.
Time's over.
So you were talking about only 4 games in the season. Let's talk about the next 3. We are at home against the Pacers, who are 1-3 right now, but their rookie they drafted in the first round, he's balling.
Yeah.
And he could be a problem.
And then Tyrese
Halliburton, yes.
Another good player.
So right now the Bulls are favored by 8 points.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. I did not think
At home.
I know, but still, I did not think 8. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. And then they take a day off on Thursday, and they're in San Antonio on Friday against the Spurs. The Spurs 3-1.
They should win that game. No excuse.
Hopefully, yeah, they should. And then the miserable 76ers are in town on Saturday.
You say miserable, but Joel Embiid has his best games of his career against the Bulls.
That is true. The Sixers are 3-1 right now. They did start 0-3, but Joel Embiid always torches us.
You said they're 3-0.
Did I? My bad. 1-3.
Okay.
And they started 0-3. My apologies. Well,
James Harden looks pretty good so far.
James Harden looking like Houston.
Yeah. That's huge. That's huge for them.
Absolutely. So those are the next 3 games, and then the next game after that is Tuesday, November 2nd. No, the 1st. My bad. November 1st against Brooklyn.
Ooh, another good game. Another team that's struggling now.
Huh?
I said another team that's struggling though.
Yeah, they are. As of recording, they are 1-2.
Ben Simmons struggling.
Oh man, did you see that play?
He's fouled out. He has fouled out 2 to 3 games.
Unbelievable. Would you trade Patrick Williams and
no?
Yeah. No. Listen. Let's say Patrick Williams, Dalian Terry, and a first for Ben Simmons.
No.
I
just don't think Ben Simmons would fit well with us. I just don't like it, especially when Lonzo's back. When Lonzo's back, it's really hard to have Ben Simmons in that lineup. I just don't. I just don't think.
Sorry to keep talking about this trade, but what if we trade Patrick Williams and a second for Wendell Carter to come back?
No.
You think he'd be good for us to power forward?
I do not want Wendell back on the team. You know who I kind of do want back now is Lauri
Markkanen.
He's having himself a good start with Utah. Yeah,
but still that the Markkanen and Vucevic thing didn't work. So I don't even want to float that.
I would like if it was cheap, I'd like to give him another chance.
Yeah, that's true. But that's going to be it on the Bulls. But Jack, I do have this last thing I want to talk about.
Oh no.
We're going to do another draft.
Of what?
Chicago sports legends.
Oh Jesus.
5 picks each. Just from any sport in the Chicago
I
area.
feel like you and I are gonna have the same like picks.
No. You go first, and then I go first. We can't take the same person.
Oh, so just like the number one pick, or like
draft
so
style.
I get the number 1 overall pick.
Do you want the number 1 overall?
But it's a snake, right?
Yeah, so I get 2 picks back to back.
I want you to have. I don't want
it. you want me to have the first pick?
Yeah, you can take the first pick, Carl.
Okay, I'll have the first pick. The first pick, I go Michael Jordan.
Wow.
Michael Jordan goes number 1, greatest basketball player of all time.
All
What
right.
more can you say?
I'll take.
So Jack, you get 2 picks.
I'll take Walter Payton.
Okay.
And then we'll turn it around, and we'll go Frank Thomas.
Oh, good pick. Good pick. I'm gonna take Patrick Kane. And Ernie Banks.
Then I'll go Jonathan Taves. I can't speak. Jonathan Taves. And
this is the 4th round pick now.
I know.
First pick of the 4th round.
Give me Devin Hester.
Ooh, good pick. Good pick. Okay, so this is my 4th and 5th round pick. I'm going to take Scottie Pippen, and then I'm going to take Greg Maddox.
All right.
Probably a top 5 pitcher of all time.
I know who he is. I know.
I think I got a pretty good team.
So will I have 1 pick left?
You have 1 pick left. Oh no! No. No. I'm good. I'm good with mine. There's one obvious on the board.
Is there like?
Yeah. If you don't pick them, I'll say it after. Honorable mentions.
Who would be obvious? I mean, I'm trying to think of Chicago sports teams. I mean, I feel like I know who you're thinking now that I thought about it.
Yeah.
But I don't like him.
Really?
I think I know who you're talking about.
I hope you know who I'm talking about.
Well, we'll find out. For the last pick, I'm going to go. Yeah, this is hard. Derrick Rose.
That's who I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who do you think I was thinking?
Sammy Sosa.
No, I know. You hate the Cubs. I know you wouldn't take him.
Well, I thought that's who you were thinking.
No, I was thinking D Rose the whole way.
Yeah, D Rose.
Is there any way you can like edit our teams like right here?
I know I have Walter. I have Walter, Frank Thomas, Devin Hester, Jonathan Taves, and Derrick Rose.
I have Michael Jordan, Patrick Kane, Scottie Pippen, Ernie Banks, and Greg Maddox.
I think my team wins.
No, let's let the people decide this.
The people.
The people. Let the people decide this.
All right, they can decide.
Absolutely.
They can decide whatever they want.
I'm winning this.
I don't think so.
You underestimate the power of Ernie Banks.
Who?
Exactly.
Exactly who?
The only player to ever win an MVP with the team having a losing record.
That just tells you about the franchise.
Exactly. No, that tells you about Ernie Banks.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. That just tells you about the franchise.
We're not talking about the franchise. We're talking about the player.
But it's a Chicago franchise, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the player right now. The Cubs are amazing, but let's not talk about them right now.
The franchise.
We're talking about Ernie Banks and Greg Maddox.
I'm about the franchise, though.
Fucking franchise.
Hey, watch it.
But anyways, do you have anything else to talk about?
No.
No? Okay. So that'll be it for us. Jack Thiel's over there. I'm right here as Carl Liza. Don't forget to check out our TikTok, our Instagram, and this video. Not Instagram, my bad. Twitter. My apology. Our TikTok, Twitter, and our YouTube page, which you're watching this on. And we'll talk to you next week. See ya.